Welcome back, guys. So just checking a couple of other messages. But yeah, we are going. Hey, Luke, how are you doing today? I hope you're doing well and that everything's going well at home. Here, this week is sunny, which makes a nice change. It seems to have been constant rain for the last few weeks, but now we seem to be getting back into some semblance of decent weather, which is good. Other than that, not a huge amount has happened. I'll be honest, this campaign is taking up more of my time, so I haven't really got much painting done, but I have got the... There's the camera. Might not be able to see it very well, but anyway, I have got the Montrose Scottish troops, infantry, cavalry, and artillery ready. They're on the table, base coated and sort of zenithal highlighted, so I am working on them for you, Luke, so I haven't forgotten. Just everything takes a bit longer between work and this campaign. Hey, Blood Gang, good to have you back. What else? I've still got a few more of the 2mm miniatures on the painting table as well. So yeah, working for a few different bits and pieces at the moment. Cool. So overall, let's just do a quick recap from what happened last turn. If I remember rightly, seems so long ago. Well, a recap for the last couple of turns, let's put it that way. The Romans and their allies have kind of now forced the Britons out of the Artrabates territory. The Durotriges and Siluries have pulled back into Durotriges territory to sort of rest and recuperate. Up here, one of the Roman legions has pursued the Iceni into their territory and defeated the Iceni in the battle, I believe, did they? Yeah, they did. So that was a good one for the Romans. You had these two legions who were pursuing Trogdemus's Catavolani forces, and after a series of running battles, the Britons were finally caught and destroyed, unfortunately. However, Vespasian, who was the Romans' #1 commander in Britain, was cut down. So that's quite a negative for the Romans going forwards. And then on this side, you had the siege was underway, and you had the Trinobanti forces marching up. But Caraticus, another one of the Britain commanders, can't remember his name, was able to get there, relieve the siege, and then they were able to basically repel the Trinobantes, who took a few casualties, but mostly withdrew in good order. So I think that more or less is a catch-up for what has happened. So yeah, definitely still everything to play for, depending on the way the dice go. So let's get into this turn. Just go check messages. Here come the Scots to save the king. Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to painting them. Actually, I've got the sort of the artwork ready, so they're gonna look pretty good. Do you print those 2mm? Yes. Yeah, I can try and find out where it was I got them from, and then I can send you the link if you're interested. They were free downloads. I can't remember if it was on Colts 3D or somewhere else, but yeah, I'll see if I can find them and send you the link. I found some for sort of war bands, also sort of hoplites / phalanxes. So I've got some of those for doing Macedonia and whatnot as well. So yeah, there's a lot of different stuff out there. But yeah, I'll find them and try and send them over just to remind me on Discord if I forget. Anyway, let's get down to turn 8. Starting off with our dates and months. So, jumping 6 months forward. So we're currently in June. So that's going to take us around. Oh, wait, were we June? Let's just double check. I think we were June. We were June AD 45. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it actually jumps us around to February because of the fact that we aren't fighting over the winter months. They're just kind of abstracted out. So now we're going to be in AD 46. AD 46, February. So it'll be cold weather for any fights that happen. Bacchus delivery to New Zealand must be, I did order some a few years ago, but yeah, the shipping cost about 3 times the amount that the miniatures did, because the minis are actually really cheap, but yeah, shipping not so good. Anyway, so that's our month. let's move to the initiative. So this time now with Vespasian down, the initiative bonus is now nullified. So both the Britons and the Romans are just a flat dice roll. So we'll go red for the Romans and white for the Britons. And Britons get the initiative. Cool. Even if Vespasian had been alive, he wouldn't have been able to undo that. So cool. Britain initiative. That's good news for them. Let's check on the weather. So it is February time. So firstly, we're going to roll for the 10s. And we've rolled a 6. So 60. And then the individuals unit, 69. 69 in February is clear sky. Cool. All right. Was it last campaign where it was raining almost every single turn? Whereas this one, it's pretty well been clear skies for the last 4 years or however long this campaign's been lasting. So we're doing well. Very un-British, this weather. Comments. Do Romans have to leave Cadavolani during the winter months as it's my territory? No. They're campaigning, so I would assume they would have just put up their winter quarters, tents and fortifications. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one, but perhaps in real life they would for in-game, just to make it more simple to follow. We'll just say no, they set up their camps and they're okay. The only half hour in February when it's clear sky. Yeah, cool. Historical events now. Is there anything this turn? So we're in turn 8. Turn 8, the siege. The Romans push deep into Britannian lands, besieging the stronghold of Caraticus, cool, which they are kind of doing anyway. So if a battle occurs in a major settlement this turn, the defender gains a fortified position, but loses -4 cohesion. Okay, so depending on what the outcome is, there may be a effect. So siege, siege. Cool. So that could be quite interesting depending on how everything moves. Sorry, let me just tilt the camera slightly. Cool, there we go. Next up, we've got our forces, random forces rolls. So for the Romans, 1. Okay, Fortitudo Legionis. The discipline of the legions holds firm under pressure. 1 Roman unit gains +5 cohesion this turn. Not bad. Could be what it requires to just survive the battle and break the enemy. So, cool. As for the Britons, what do they get? They've rolled a 7. And 7 is clan rivalries. Disputes between tribal leaders cause unrest. 1 Briton unit suffers -5 cohesion this turn. Oh, good grief. Okay. So let me just write that. +5 to 1 Roman unit and -5 to 1 Briton unit. Okay, so almost identical, but Romans positive, Britons negative. I'd like to think that most likely that would occur down here where you've got the Durotriges and the Siluries, rather than where you've got Iceni in Iceni territory or the Cadavolani in Cadavolani territory. So interesting. Okay, now we've got movements. So let's have a look at what the voting went to. So for turn 8, who got the initiative? It was the Britons. So we've got a draw, 40% and 40%. So option 2 was Western forces attack for 1 final push against the Romans, and Eastern forces stay on the defensive. So that was 40% of the vote. And option 3 was Western forces attack, Eastern forces to strike at the most isolated enemy force with 40%. But because it's a tie, I will leave that one for Luke to decide which option he basically wants these Eastern forces to do. Does he want them to defend? Does he want them to attack? I'm going to give more options to Luke as commander. So if you want the Iceni to sort of defend and pull back or whatever, that's fine. And if you want the Catavolani to strike at the Romans or the Trinovantes, again, it's up to you. But you make your call on that one as commander overall. As for the Romans, this turn we've got 42%. So the winning vote goes to option 1, which is keep advancing as per last turn. So that was basically block gang. That was your plan from last turn. So, excuse me, let's get some water. I was just eating Brazil nuts and a piece went down the wrong way. So yeah, last turn, your plan was to pursue the Iceni, but this time you were talking about holding. Those chaps were pursuing, so they can go advance up, and you've got the Trinovantes. So basically it's going to be your plan from last turn, which is continuing. So your plan from this turn. Let me just check what that was. Rome and her allies. Spare with me 1 second whilst I quickly read back through. Call the Legion in Iceni, hold and defend. Western forces, unified force drives towards the Duratriges border, and Catavolani territory attack. Cool. All right. So let's have a quick look at the messages. Okay, mirror, yeah. Okay, so just to sort of recap on what they were. So for the Britons, just waiting on your decision, Luke, because you do have the initiative, so you'll be able to make a couple of moves before anyone else. But for the Britons, it was a draw. So you can either defend with these forces or attack with these forces. If you're going to attack, then it's, choose one of the isolated enemy. Over here, it was to advance and try and engage the enemy. As for the Romans, the orders are for these forces in Artribates to advance to the border, Iceni Legion just to hold, and the rest to advance on the capital. So Iceni to withdraw. Okay. So just roll to see. I'm pretty sure they can go, actually. I think they've got a base movement, if I remember rightly, it's 2. Base is 2. So yeah, they can definitely get back to the capital. That Roman legion is going to stay put as instructed. And then it's just a matter of what you want these guys to do, Luke, defend or try and strike out and catch the enemy on the advance. Didn't the Catavolani order go through? Which order was that? Are you talking about through the voting or somewhere else? Yeah, just wait for your point on that. Other than that, if we start making the moves for the other troops, so we've got these ones here who've been ordered to advance, so we'll see how far they can go, starting at the bottom in the south and moving up. So the first one's, whoops, a D10. That's a 6 plus 2, so they can go 8. So they can definitely get there as far as they wish. Next one's 4, 5, 6. 6 will be close enough. And the northern forces, 5, 6, 7. Cool. So they can all get to the Romans. The Romans will just roll for them to see how far they're coming across. And they're probably going to meet somewhere 6. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, all forces are basically moving across. They are together. Oops, now stuck on me. Yeah, they're kind of together moving across, and they are moving across, and then they're just going to crash together somewhere in that central area. We all meet for a big battle in the west. Yeah. So that's that taken care of. And now, yeah, just waiting on you, Luke, as to what you want these chaps to do, defend or attack. And then other than that, it's going to be, here we go. My chat is playing up. My legions and the tribe with them stay unified. Yeah. Okay, cool. So they'll all be marching together. They'll be marching together. So it will be one actual battle. Luke, if it's easy, you can always message me on the Discord. And then that way, if that's working. But yeah, here. So we're going to have the Romans advancing slow but steady. Actually, our best roll to see, make sure they can actually get there. 5, yeah, that'll make it. And the Trinobantes will have no worries. Oh, it's close. They can go 3, so yeah, they can do it. So whoever wants to move will be able to. We just need to know whether Luke is defending or attacking, and who he's going to be attacking. Give Luke time to get his orders through. But overall, that's a pretty interesting situation to be in. So let me just write down the battles up until we get Luke's comments. So I see there's nothing, there's just a withdrawal. In our Trebates, we've got a mass battle. That'll be, I think, the decider. Whoever wins that one, if the Britons can win, then they'll be able to head through, take Londinium, and cut off the legions, which might not break them, but it'll definitely divert their attention south again. Whilst on the other hand, if the Romans and their allies win, then they're pretty well open season to march through, finish off the Durotriges, if they wish to march north. So it's going to be an interesting one. Same order 5 times to the Catavolani. Okay. Okay, let me just finish writing this down. Mass battle in Artrabates. Cool. 2 Roman and 1 ally versus 2 Duros and 1 Siluri. Okay. Maybe they don't know English. Cool. So, all right. Because when you say you've sent the order 5 times to the Catavolani, you're talking about like each turn over the last few turns. Let's have a look. Enemies. Okay. There we go. Yeah, just message me on Discord. Cool. Sending this. Okay, yeah, so I think there's just some sort of tech issue, which is why we haven't been receiving it from you, Luke. So just trying to clarify exactly what it is you want us to do with your troops, whether they're defending or attacking. Mass against it. Yeah, cool. So yeah, you had the initiative, so they're going to be against the isolated legion. So so you want them to go against the Romans rather than the Trinobantes. Just send me a yes that you want them to go against this group, these legions here, and we can do that. Cool, but that's what it looks like we're doing. Okay, so did I roll for them already? I think I did. But yeah, they can do it. So Catavolani forces united are going to march down onto the Romans, and then the Trinobantes will be coming along later as reinforcements at some point during the battle. As their orders were to go north, they will be delayed a little bit because they'll get to the city, realize they're not there, and they have to kind of swing round. But that'll be an interesting one. Can the Catavolani break the Romans before the Trinobantes come? If they do break the Romans, will the Trinobantes still fight, or would they withdraw? Find out next time. No, I'm joking. We'll find out this turn. So where are we? Back to, sorry, I've just been on the Discord server, so now I'm back. Let's read through your comments. Those legions are effectively as one force. Yeah, they are together, basically. So just to be clear on that one. Back to Discord. Cool. All right, so that's, I think, correct. Based on what everyone's been saying. So we're going to have the Catavolani. Strange can chat anything but the... Oh, no. Yeah, so we've got Catavolani coming down against the Romans. I guess technically the Romans are coming north slightly, so it might be a little bit further north than that. But it'll be Catavolani and Romans, and then the Trinobanti coming on as a reinforcing force. Yes, just to answer Blook Gang there. Luke, just correct me if I'm wrong, but as I understand from your order, your forces are leaving the capital to go down and attack the Romans. You try typing Cadavalani. Oh no. Cool. But yeah, that's the way I understand it, is Cadavalani, using their sort of initiative, have sprung from their capital. They're going down after the Romans to try and break them as the main threat. Romans have started their advance forwards and are sort of going to meet them halfway. And then the Trinovanti are going to be coming along just slightly later. Yeah, that's a good idea. Look, just type Catu and Euro. Any of the long ones, just use the first three, I would say. Yeah, first three letters. Make it simple. Cool. So now we've got that battle to fight in Catu. We've got Cadavalani versus 2 Romans with 2 Trino as reinforcements. And again, I think it's one of those same things I always say, sound like a broken record, but this could be the turn that really decides this campaign, as we were talking about down there. But up here, if the Romans are broken, then there's a real chance that they will be able to, again, the Britons, this is, sort of cleanse the territory, potentially, of hostiles, and then they'll be able to march down towards Londinium and the south. That legion may have to withdraw to try and protect their line of retreat. Likewise, over here, if the Britons win, as we were saying, they open up that underbelly. But likewise, if it's the other way and these forces are destroyed, then that pretty well opens up this whole route for the Romans. And if the Cadavalani are destroyed here, then that's pretty well the insurrection, the rebellion, whatever you want to call it, over. And then we'll see what goes from there. But sounds like all the action we want. Yes, exactly. It's what wargaming is all about. Big battles. It's up to the dice now. Yeah, it's sacrifice your animals, guys. It's time. Cool. That's going to be an exciting turn, actually. Looking forward to these ones to really see how it goes. For both of you, though, just in Discord, just send me some pointers as to how you want your commanders to react if they're losing to withdraw, etc., or winning, whether you want them to push hard, just so that I know roughly what we're doing, should either of those situations occur. But entrails for days. Yeah, I know. Yeah, find the red bull or the red heifer. I know. I think that was the Jews, actually. But anyway, cool. So it should be an interesting turn ahead. I think that pretty well does it for us this turn. That's battles, cohesion. I always check, even though I'm pretty sure it's all the same. Yep. All right. So that's pretty well our roundup for this turn. Looking forward to this one. As I said, I will try and get some of that painting done for you, Luke, over the weekend if I can. It's going to be a bit of a busy one because I've got to work on Saturday, but hopefully I can get some painting done. Likewise, I'll try and get those links to the minis sent over to you, Block Gang, so that you've got those. And I think that's pretty well us. But yeah, thank you guys for joining today. Thank you for all of the comments on Discord. They're always very fun to listen to. And yeah, we'll see what happens. See how the battle goes. Cool. Enjoy the rest of your Thursdays, I assume. And yeah, then have a good weekend. But thanks, guys. Take care.